There have been attacks in 2 American cities, New York and in Washington. The trade centers here in New York have been hit by airplanes. In Washington, there is a large fire at the Pentagon. The Pentagon has been evacuated. Obviously, we are in the middle of an extraordinary catastrophe. And there's, you can see, perhaps the second tower, the front tower, the top portion of which is collapsing. Good Lord.
I remember saying, oh my God, when the second building came down.
There are no words.
And went silent for a bit and let people watch it. We've been talking about buildings falling, planes hitting, but this isn't about buildings falling and planes hitting. It's about people.
Big explosion happened. Some guy came out, his skin was all off.
There was smoke everywhere and people are jumping out the windows. Over there, they're jumping out the windows, I guess because they're trying to save themselves. I don't know.
I can't even look back. My 6-year-old just last week asked my husband and I to take him to the observation deck, and it's gone. And you know what? Americans will persevere, and I don't think that we'll stoop to the level of these zealot terrorist pigs.
It's about the people who were in those buildings and got out, the people who were in those planes and didn't survive, the people who didn't get out of the building, the firefighters who went. It's a people story.
When I heard some rumbling and shaking, I thought maybe the air conditioner shut off and jumped on again. I turned around, I have a window seat, and the entire sky was filled with, the first thing that struck me, it looked like a ticker tape parade. It's filled with computer paper and then debris. I dropped the phone. And then it was when I was heading down on 27, just about 27, the staircase moved and a crack in the wall appeared, maybe about 6 or 8 inches. And at that point, you know, everybody, I'm sure as they were thinking, you know, get out. This is, you know, anything can happen now.
Nightmare, total blindness, choking feeling.
Deputy Commissioner Feehan, Chief Gansey, Father Judge, and Ray Downey, who I just gave a party for at Gracie Mansion for his years of service to the fire department, who led our team in the Oklahoma City bombing rescue. We've also lost him.
What we can tell you tonight is the city is confirming that some 265 firefighters are believed to be dead, some 85 police officers missing tonight.
This is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. The Twin Towers are underground level. The destruction is enormous. Enormous. God save our country and what was done to it today.
He called me at 10 to 9 and said, our building has just been hit by a plane.
There was the second plane that came around and slammed into the building.
When he went to work, his mom said goodbye to him, gave him a big kiss, and never saw him again.
And I said, oh God, John, please get out of there safely.
We're at the corner of Lexington and 26th Street in Manhattan. We're at the Armory where hundreds of families are lined up behind me trying to get information about their missing loved ones. They're asking for all...
When we first arrived there, my producer Miriam Falco and I, we were concerned because we did not want to thrust ourselves at these people.
This woman right here.
We felt very strongly that if they didn't want to talk to us, we didn't want to talk to them, and we weren't going to hound them.
I'm looking for my older nephew.
But in fact, it was the opposite.
We've been here over 2 hours. They told us twice they'd take us next day.
They sought us out.
And I have here with me Vinny Kamaj.
Several different people stand out in my mind from September, and one of them is Vinny Kamaj. He was the first interview that I did on camera. He was looking for his father. His father was a window washer at the World Trade Center.
If you think your father might be out there somewhere, what would you want to say to him?
I want to tell him that we all miss him. His little nephew, Luke, misses him. And that we're strong. We got hope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron, I've been talking to these families for 2 days now, and all of these stories are very much like this. People are just hoping that their relatives are out there somewhere, and they're begging us.
It was just so moving to hear from this young man how he was just searching and searching for his father.
If anybody see my daughter.
He has a daughter, 7-month-old.
I want him to come home.
We're not going to give up until we find you. We love you.
When you interview person after person who is missing someone who is so special to them, so important, fathers, mothers, sisters, wives, husbands, children, I don't know how you can help but cry.
I found myself at a loss for words. I still do when I think about this. It was too enormous. The pictures didn't do it justice.
It shakes your very foundation. It shakes the core of who we are as people. We will never live with the degree of innocence any of us ever had.
We've had this sense for the whole of American history that the oceans protected us. We know that's not true anymore.
The first morning in New York, I came across a poster on a lamppost describing a man with brown hair and brown eyes, 36 years old, 5'11", 175 pounds, missing. And it was the exact description of me. The people in the towers could have been any one of us.
What I take away from this is that even in the most difficult, even in the most sorrowful of times, that the human spirit emerges and can truly make a difference. This wasn't a scene where there was no hope or no love. There was a lot of love.
Nobody's going to forget the 11th. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you lived. You'll know where you were, and you'll know how you thought and what you thought.